Ano nga bang pwedeng mangyari kung pipiliin mong sumalungat sa mga tradisyon ng iyong panahon? What happens when passion defies the moral restrictions of society? Ang mga tanong na ito ay nasagot ng isang Pinoy film na nirelease noong 2010. Rosario. Isang pelikulang hindi lang basta period drama, kundi isang intimate portrait ng women's emancipation sa Pilipinas. Directed by Albert Martinez sa kanyang directorial debut at written by award-winning screenwriter Elmer Gatchalian, ang Rosario ay isang ambitious production ng TV5 at Cinema Buhay. Based on the true story of business magnate's grandmother Manny V. Pangilinan. Ang film na ito ay naging one of the most talked about entries sa 2010 Metro Manila Film Festival. Pinangungunahan ni Jenilyn Mercado, who portrays the titular character, si Rosario Pereira. Isang sophisticated Filipina flapper ng 1920s na kakauwi lang from New York City. She's a mestiza, daughter ng Portuguese ship captain at Filipina mother. Isang babaeng ahead of her time, passionate, independent, at walang takot sa consequences ng kanyang mga desisyon. So eto na nga ang kwento. Ang kwento ay nag-uumpisa through a letter. Si Jesus, played by the late comedy king Dolphy, ay sumusulat kay Manny Pangilinan, chairman ng TV5. Upon meeting his nephew, Jesus tells the scandalous story of his mother, Rosario. 1920s Philippines, isang panahon ng cultural transition. Rosario arrives sa kanilang hacienda mula sa New York. Bringing with her ay ang kanyang liberated spirit from the jazz age. She smokes, she dances the Charleston, she reads poetry, at higit sa lahat, she follows her heart regardless of social expectations. Sa hacienda, Rosario meets Vicente Velez, played by Yul Servo, an older man na manager ng tobacco plantation na pagmamay-ari ng kanyang pamilya. Despite the age gap and social differences, Rosario falls deeply in love with him. Their relationship becomes passionate but scandalous sa mata ng conservative society. When her father, Don Enrique, played by Philip Salvador, discovers the affair, galit na galit siya at hindi niya ito matanggap. He sends Rosario to a convent, thinking na magiging conservative din siya doon. But true to her rebellious nature, Rosario escapes and elopes with Vicente to Manila. Sa Maynila, they start a family. Vicente proves himself as a hard-working man at naging komportable ang kanilang pamunuhay. They have children and for a while it seems like love conquered all. But life has other plans. Vicente becomes ill with tuberculosis, a death sentence sa panahon na yun. Unable to work, their financial situation deteriorates rapidly. Rosario, who grew up privileged, suddenly finds herself struggling to support her family. In desperation, Rosario finds work sa isang office sa Binondo. Doon, she meets Alberto Fernandez, played by Dennis Trillo, a charming, wealthy man who becomes her lover. What starts as attraction becomes a full-blown affair, even as Vicente battles his illness at home. Their affair is discovered in the most painful way, through their daughter, Maria Rosario. Vicente, despite his weakened condition, decides to leave with their daughter. The betrayal cuts deep, at ang once-loving husband becomes determined to seek justice. Nag-file ng case si Vicente, adultery, laban kay Rosario, pati na din kay Alberto. Sa heart-wrenching court scene, both are found guilty. The sentence? 3 years, 6 months, and 21 days of exile in Hong Kong. A punishment that would separate Rosario from her homeland and her remaining children. Sa Hong Kong, Rosario gives birth to another child, Jesus, ang narrator ng ating istorya. But their exile becomes a test of love. Alberto, which is initially devoted to Rosario, begins to have doubts about their relationship. The isolation and hardship start to wear them down. Upon returning to the Philippines, Alberto abandons Rosario and Jesus. His reason? He suspects Rosario of having another affair, this time with Carding, played by Sid Lucero, the nephew of their landlord. Whether true or not, it's the final straw for Alberto. Left alone with Jesus, Rosario's privileged life becomes a distant memory. She takes in laundry, works as a seamstress. Kahit anong trabaho para makasurvive. The woman who once danced in elegant parties now struggles for daily bread. But even in poverty, she maintains her dignity. The film doesn't sugarcoat Rosario's ending. She dies without ever receiving forgiveness from her children, particularly from her daughter Maria Rosario. She lives and dies with the consequences of her choices. A woman who dared to love freely in a society that punished such freedom. As Jesus finishes telling the story, we see that despite everything, Rosario's legacy lives on. Her son becomes successful. Her grandson Manny Pangilinan becomes one of the most powerful businessmen in the Philippines. Her sacrifices and struggles were not in vain. You've made it this far. Why not hit subscribe? Albert Martinez's directorial debut is nothing short of remarkable. Despite being his first time behind the camera, he shows maturity and elegance in his approach. His background as an actor clearly helped him guide his cast to nuanced performances. Carlo Mendoza's cinematography deserves special mention. Winner ng Best Cinematography sa MMFF 2010, ang film ay naging visually stunning recreation ng 1920s Philippines. The lighting evolution throughout the film, from warm tones, happy scenes to colder palettes as tragedy unfolds, creates an emotional journey through visuals alone. Isa sa mga memorable sequences ay ang passage of time scene. From the birth of Rosario's first child hanggang sa paglaki nito, imbes na gumamit ng montage, Mendoza achieved this through one continuous take with fluid camera movement at seamless lighting transitions. The elopement scene between Rosario and Vicente is particularly striking, using only gas lamp lighting to create intimate silhouettes, intensifying their forbidden love affair. Sa production design, it transported audiences to the 1920s Philippines. From the tobacco plantation houses to the Art Deco buildings ng Maynila, lahat ng detalye ay ni-research meticulously. Even the cars, furniture, lamps, drapes, and utensils were period accurate. The costume design showcased the fashion of the era. Sequined dresses, short skirts ang flapper era, elegant ternos ng older women, boater hats, at layers of pearls. Rosario's wardrobe evolution reflects her character's journey from privileged heiress to struggling mother. Perhaps one of the most impressive aspects ay ang musical score. Recorded in Hollywood using a live orchestra at East-West Studios, the music adds emotional weight to the film's heaviest moments. It's a rare achievement for Filipino cinema to use full orchestral arrangements instead of electronic instruments. Rosario explores multiple themes: women's liberation, the price of following one's desires, social class conflicts, at ang impact of American colonial influence sa Filipino culture. The film doesn't romanticize Rosario's choices. Instead, it presents them as human decisions with real consequences. Pinakita din ng pelikulang ito ang generational trauma, cultural identity, at ang mga sacrifices ng mga magulang para sa kanilang mga anak, themes that resonate beyond the 1920 setting. Rosario received 7 awards sa 2010 Metro Manila Film Festival, including Second Best Picture at ang prestigious Gatpuno Antonio J. Villegas Cultural Award. Critics praised it as a sophisticated period drama na nag-elevate sa Filipino cinema standards. However, there was controversy surrounding the awards. Many questioned why Jeneline Mercado wasn't even nominated for Best Actress, despite her transformative performance. Albert Martinez also didn't receive a Best Director nomination, which surprised industry observers. Despite the critical acclaim, Rosario struggled at the box office. Released during the holiday season of MMFF, audiences preferred lighter, more commercial films. The film's serious, adult themes were perhaps too sophisticated for the typical MMFF audience expecting family-friendly entertainment. Rosario stands as one of the most ambitious period films in Philippine cinema. It challenged Filipino audiences to confront uncomfortable truths about women's sexuality, social hypocrisy, at ang double standards ng conservative society. The film sparked discussions about women's rights, sexual autonomy, at ang continuing relevance of these issues in modern Philippines. Rosario's story, a woman punished for following her desires, mirrors contemporary struggles for gender equality. The film set new standards for production values in Filipino movies. Its use of the Ari Alexa camera, Hollywood-recorded orchestral score, at meticulous period recreation showed what Filipino filmmakers could achieve with proper funding and commitment. Rosario serves as a window into 1920s Philippines, a crucial period in our history when American colonial influence was shaping Filipino society. The film explores how Western liberal ideas clashed with traditional Filipino values, creating conflicts that continue to resonate today. Beyond the MMFF Awards, Rosario received nominations at international festivals, including the Bogota Film Festival at Shanghai International Film Festival. This international recognition highlighted the universal themes within the specifically Filipino story. The film is now considered an underrated gem of Philippine cinema, a sophisticated work that deserves rediscovery by new generations of film lovers. Rosario reminds us na ang mga kwentong babae, particularly those who dare to defy social norms, deserve to be told with honesty and complexity. In a society that often silences women's voices, Rosario's story, tragic as it may be, stands as a testament to the courage required to live authentically. Again, this is more than just a period film. They created a mirror that reflects our society's ongoing struggles with tradition, morality, and individual freedom. And perhaps, that's the most powerful impact any film can have.
Wala si Alberto. Ayaw na ayaw niya